All right, guys. Good evening, nerds around the world. Welcome to episode 122 of the Nerds Unite as One podcast. I am your host, Paul English, and title. If you're reading the title down there, no, this is not our last show of the year. But we got Star Wars: The Last Jedi coming out this week, and there was no way in hell we weren't going to talk about it next week, which unfortunately is going to be our last show of the year because the Monday after that is Christmas, and then after that begins 2018. So. I know this is normally our last show of the year, but we've done it before, but we're excited. But make room for Star Wars. We moved it up. So today we are counting down our top 10 most anticipated films of 2018. And joining me is a great panel that you all know and love that I'm going to introduce to you right now. We got Mike Gulick from Geek Salad. How are you, sir?
Oh, geez. I wish they'd let me know I was going to come first because I was just about to take a drink of my drink here. Great. Hi. I'm glad to be here.
Hey, look who else is here. We got Colton Hunt here. How you doing?
Hey, everyone. I'm glad to be here. I can't promise my list is going to really seem inspired, but hey, you might see a few movies you might not be expecting.
Well, I think we'll all have at least one of those. Hey, speaking of some unexpectedness, hey, we got Chris Miller here. How are you?
What's going on, guys? And how's my being here so unexpected?
Yeah, I need to make that work somehow.
Yes. But also,
he's not Caleb.
He's like the week, but yeah, this week, it's pretty pumped about this week. I've been seeing one thing: Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars, nothing but Star. Yeah, Star Wars.
Yes.
Can't wait for the movie.
Star Wars, but today is about looking to the future, and I'm not going to waste any time. Let's jump right into this. So, Chris, I'm actually going to start off with you on this one. You know the formula by now. So, why don't you give me your 10th most anticipated film of the year?
Yeah, my number 10 most anticipated film is Pacific Rim Uprising. And the original Pacific Rim was just, you can't help but say it was wonderful popcorn entertainment. Is it a great movie? No. Is it a masterpiece? Not by any stretch of the imagination. But hell did I enjoy it. It's like giant monsters versus like big monsters. Kaiju is just like, it makes you feel like a 12-year-old. I equally anticipate this as much as I did the first one. Yeah, we got just Star Wars as John Boyega as the lead. It's interesting to see him in the lead role. Him in this lead role. He's gonna be playing Idris Elba's the son of Idris Elba's character from the last film. Just like, I don't know if it offers much in terms of expansion and stuff like that, but it looks like from the first trailer, so it looks like it could be quite as decent as the first one was. We got bring back some of the same people from the first one. Charlie Day is gonna be coming back. And this is awful. It was like, I hope it's not just. I'm not expecting Shakespeare. The first one is exactly Shakespeare. I'm not expecting like something to be like Citizen Kane or anything like that. But I don't want it to be just the war. I just want it to be purely spectacle. I want some characters who I can be drawn to. But all that, I look nothing. For me, I just want to be entertained, and that's what the original Pacific Rim gave me. So I hope I am delighted by this as I was by the first one. So Pacific Rim is my number 10.
Alrighty then, Colton. Moving on to you. What is your 10th most anticipated film of the year?
Number 10 for me is Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's as low on the list as it is because because some of the other movies I'm anticipating more, and I also feel like this one I'm kind of seeing it. I'm anticipating it, but there's also the whole cinematic blackmail. I feel obligated to see it since it's a Marvel film, and you can't skip anything because if you do, you'll probably be confused when the next film comes out. But that being said, I really enjoyed the first Ant-Man. It had a good lead, and it did a great job, having fun with its premise while also being, solidly entertaining in a cool way. So I'm curious to see so I'm really looking forward to seeing how they do the same, if they can replicate that success. I really liked Hope in the last film. I like Evangeline Lilly in general. And with the news that Ant-Man and the Wasp is apparently going to be the MCU's first romantic comedy, that kind of has me anticipating it a little bit more, because at times romance isn't exactly Marvel's strongest suit, so it'll be kind of cool to see if they can actually pull a romantic comedy off. But let me tell you, I won't be disappointed if at no point we learn that if Hope doesn't at least name one of her wasps Beopatra. Okay, I mean, I know that it's not she's not using bees, she's using wasps, but I still want to see that pun being used, because we had Antony in the last film and all that jazz. And so yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp is my number 10.
Okay. Geez, Mike looked like a hacker trying to pull something off. But do you think you unmute Mike for a second? Give us your number 10 list.
Oh, sure, yeah. No, see, I had my list set up as chronologically, so I just had to scramble and rank mine 10 to 1. But I did. I just finished. Okay. Apologize for my cough here. My number 10 is Aquaman. I really, really enjoyed Jason Momoa as Aquaman in Justice League. At least once the Justice League united, I thought he was fine. I thought he was a fun addition to it. And it made me intrigued enough to know what James Wan's going to do with his solo movie. The reason it's number 10 and not higher on my list is because at this point, I've pretty much run out of faith that Warner Brothers knows what the hell they're doing with their DC Universe movies, and the fact that they only have one movie coming out next year after Justice League came out. I mean, this year. I mean, they've got a year between movies, and they're throwing out they keep doing it. They keep throwing out a bunch of movies, and you don't know what's coming. They don't know if they're going to make it. They don't know. They're just kind of like throwing the darts at the wall and seeing if anything doesn't fall out after a couple months. So I have no faith in Warner Brothers to handle the DC properties, but I did enjoy Jason Momoa as Aquaman enough, and I do think James Wan is a good enough filmmaker that it does make my list at number 10.
Oh, it's kind of surprising coming from someone who enjoyed Justice League. I mean, I know it has some flaws, but you seem to enjoy it.
No, I do enjoy. I did enjoy with Justice League. It's just the way Warner Brothers has handled this entire situation is just. I mean, my grandmother could do a better situation. She's been dead for like a couple of years.
I see what you mean, Mike. I mean, Aquaman didn't even make my list kind of because of the way that the DC Warner Brothers has handled the DC EU. It's like it might be cool, but I'm just not really. I don't have a lot, since I don't have a lot of goodwill. They don't have a lot of goodwill with me right now, so I'm like, hey, if it's good, then cool. But I'm not really. I don't have much anticipation for it. Kind of the same reason why Dark Phoenix didn't make my list.
Okay, all right, interesting then. All right, so number 10 on my list. And pardon me, I'm just making some adjustments. But number 10 on my list is Wreck-It Ralph 2. And you know what a huge gamer I am, so this movie was up my alley. And I thought it was absolutely enjoyable. It was heartfelt. John C. Reilly was astounding as Ralph. I enjoyed Sarah Silverman as Vanellope. I mean, it's Disney. It's got more video games. I mean, I could not be. I'm pumped for this movie. I'm pretty pumped for this movie. I think it's going to be just fine. All right. I do need to go take care of something, so I'm going to be back in just a couple minutes. But in the meantime, gentlemen, please continue. Chris, why don't you start us off? Why don't you give me your number 9 on the list?
Okay,
gentlemen? What gentlemen?
Little in-joke from later, guys. Okay, my number 9 is Mission Impossible 6.
That much has been worth it, Paramount.
Yeah, the Mission Impossible series has been quite on the roll. I mean, with two really solid, two terrific back-to-back films with Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol and Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. It's a lot of. I mean, yeah, they brought a lot of energy. They brought a lot of They just this is they just, I love what they're going. I mean, it's just like, to me, I mean, it's like, of course, until Brad Bird came along, the series had been really relatively so-so, but he needed it, but he gave it the right amount. He gave it the shot in the arm it needed. I mean, of course, with Christopher McQuarrie taking over as the helm of the previous movie, Rogue Nation, they brought a lot of style. They managed to engage you. I think Tom Cruise has never been better than ever. I mean, I'm not the world's biggest Tom Cruise fan. I mean, he is a good actor, but he's managed to he's managed to he's managed to impress me. He's managed to do well in this role with Ethan Hunt. It's just like, and with this, and with this entry, you got, of course, it'd be, of course, Jeremy Renner's not going to come back. Of course, Christopher McQuarrie is going to come back. I mean, Jeremy Renner, who was Bran to the previous two movies, and he's going to come back. But yeah, you got Ethan Hunt's partner in crime, Luke Stickle. Of course, you can't. Simon Pegg is Benji. You always love. You can't go wrong with Simon Pegg, even his character in Benji in these movies, of course. Somehow they're bringing back Hunt's ex-wife, who was played by Michelle Monaghan in the third entry. Yeah.
His
Angela
ex-wife?
Bassett. Huh?
She's his ex-wife in this movie?
Huh?
I said she's his ex-wife in this film?
Oh, you didn't see what happened in Ghost Protocol. You didn't see what happened in Ghost Protocol, right?
They didn't say they divorced. They didn't say that they divorced, though. They said that they kind of, they said they split, but it was for her protection, not so much that they divorced.
But yeah. Let's just say they're reunited together, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, but Angela Bassett.
I'm kind of afraid that they're just bringing her back to kill her off, though.
That would be a shame if that's good. That's going to be the case. Of course, Henry Cavill. Superman. Let me stop. Yeah.
Tell me, do you bleed?
Save Martha. Why'd you say her name?
Yep, I was quoting Justice League. Never mind.
Yeah. But I was just saying, yeah. But it looks like we got a solid cast. I expect nothing less from Christopher McQuarrie. I expect this to be no less dynamite, no less explosive than what we got from the series as of late from those, because the previous two sequels have been awesome, and I expect nothing less from Mission Impossible. I have full confidence in Christopher McQuarrie. So number 9 on my list is Mission Impossible 6.
All right, thank you, Chris. I am back, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Colton, number 9 on your list is?
Number 9 on my list, and it's probably the only shocker on my list. It is The Girl in the Spider's Web, which is apparently a girl with the dragon tattoo. David Fincher's The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Granted, it's as a new cast and crew from top to bottom, unfortunately, but I really enjoyed The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, so I wouldn't mind, even though I'm going to miss Rooney Mara, I'm still going to see this movie, see what more there is to Elizabeth Salander's story and all that jazz, and see if they can, see what a new director could do with this story and what the style might be like. It's as low on the list as it is because, like I said, there's so much that's new. Like the stuff I liked about the original movie isn't present here, but it could still work. That being said. So yeah, number 9 on my list. Not much to say about it. Girl with the Spider's Web.
Okay, interesting. Mike, what's number 9 on your list?
My number 9 is Tomb Raider.
Okay.
I'm a huge fan of the games. I've played both. I've played almost all of them actually, but I really, really love the 2 most recent ones, which is what this movie is going to be based on. It's going to be based on the kind of the reboot that happened, I think 2010, 2009, somewhere around there. But the story is, and at least in the story in the game, is solid. And Alicia Vikander, I think, is going to be a great Lara. I do like the cast in the trailer. And the trailer did impress me. I'm just the reason it's number 9 and not higher is because it's a video game movie. I mean, I have endless faith, but the hit rate is not working for it right now. So I hope for the best. It's got all the great ingredients, but that has happened before.
Assassin's Creed.
Exactly. It has happened before, and it's crashed and burned. So fingers crossed. So yeah, number 9, Tomb Raider.
Did you like the Angelina Jolie ones?
First one was all right. I never bothered with the second one because the first one was just all right.
All right. So thank you, Mike. All right, so number 9 on my list is actually moved it a little bit. It was number 8, it got dropped. Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. I did see the trailer. It definitely looks like a whole lot of fun. It should be interesting, but the reason it's number 9 and not higher is that as you all know, the Jurassic Park films have not been all that impressive since the first one came out, which was just mind-blowing. But Lost World and Jurassic Park 3 were not impressive. Jurassic World, aside from those last 15 minutes, like the greatest dino battle of all time, which makes you feel like a 10-year-old just roaring at the screen. It really was not that impressive outside of Chris Pratt. I mean, he was the only reason I was staying through most of it. But aside from that dino battle, there really was nothing much to Jurassic World. Like I said, not a bad movie. I certainly enjoyed it, but it really was not that good. Although, I mean, that's not really saying much when compared to like Lost World and Jurassic Park 3. World's probably the second best. So I don't have much in the way of expectations for Jurassic World. I hope it proves me wrong. The trailer seems to look like it's going to prove me wrong, but I'm not holding my breath on that one. So yeah, for that reason, number 9 is Jurassic World 2. All right, back on to you, Chris. What is number 8 on your list?
Number 8 on my list is Ant-Man and the Wasp. Well, the first,
Right.
Yeah, while the first Ant-Man was not my favorite, I did overall enjoy it. Paul Rudd was an inspired choice to play. Scott Lang, he's just like, it had that great, solid mix of action and comedy, sparsely comedy, It just is like it was a movie. It was a movie that had quite an interesting plot. The characterizations were spot on. I mean, the humor was like the best part of it. It got great support. Yeah, and I love that. Yeah, I love that they're calling the sequel Ant-Man and the Wasp. And the notion that they're going to make it a romantic comedy is pretty interesting. It's just like because I suppose the banter between Scott Lang and Hope Van Dyne, played by Evangeline Lilly, was quite well done at best. But I think they're going to go all in all. I'm thinking like more along the lines of those romantic screwball comedies, the 1930s. I think that's where I think that's where they're going with this. I mean, I like that they're bringing back the most of the supporting cast of this movie. Of course, you got T.I. as Dave. Of course, you got what's his name? Michael Pena as Louis. Louis is such a trip in that movie. And this guy said. I mean, yeah, but they were. I mean, they were enjoyable for the most part. I mean, they didn't annoy me as I thought they would. But I'm glad they're going to be back. But I think this is one. I'm gonna keep my close. But this might be an interesting one. Of course, you got Michelle Pfeiffer coming in as Janet Diamond and Lawrence Fishburne. Man, hell yeah! It's got a lot of things going for it. I mean, I can't wait to see it. So number 8 on my list is Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Okay then, Colton, what's number 8 on your list?
Number 8 on my list is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So when that trailer dropped, I was surprised because, I wasn't sure what to be expecting. But when I saw that animation, I'm like, okay, they've got my attention. It's nothing I've ever seen before, I don't think, really, or at least not recently, so to speak. I mean, it's very highly stylized, very comic booky, and something you could probably see in a comic book, to be honest. And, of course, this is the movie where Miles Morales is going to make his theatrical debut. a character that I know jack squat about, but hey, this could be a good way to introduce me to what the character is all about, I guess you could say. And I do like that there's going to be more Spider-Man in this movie, apparently. So I hope that maybe we'll get to see Spider-Gwen, perhaps. You never know. And I hope this is an idea that they really take advantage of, really do something creative with. And the only reason why it's 8 on my list, though, is because the talent behind it doesn't exactly have a lot of films to their name beyond hold on. Lost my place. I know that one of the directors, I think, did Rise of the Guardians, but there's apparently 2 other co-directors in this movie. But the fact that Phil Lord and Christopher Miller are part of the people that are producing it does give me, the guys behind the Lego movie, does give me a bit more hope. So that's why it made the list overall. And as you all know, Spider-Man is my favorite hero ever. So a movie with hopefully dozens of them will be even cooler. I gotta wait till next December though to find out.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I saw the trailer and the animation did turn me off. I'm like, I'm not really a fan of it. But then again, the animation for Star Wars, The Clone Wars, and Spectacular Spider-Man kind of turned me off them at first, and they turned out to be 2 of some of the best damn cartoon shows I've ever seen. So animation ain't everything. I probably checked it out, but that movie did not make my list. All right, Mike, what's your number 8?
Well, first, if you want to see Spider-Gwen, she is going to be showing up in a Marvel.
Marvel Rising, right?
Marvel Rising, yeah. But she's going by the name Ghost Spider because Spider-Gwen doesn't really work in a
secret identity.
Yeah, Spider-Gwen. I wonder if that's related to Gwen Stacy.
Yeah, thanks for the reminder.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of looking forward to that one. But anyway, my number 8 is Ralph Breaks the Internet. Wreck-It Ralph 2. Yeah, I mean, I gotta be honest. I actually only saw Wreck-It Ralph, the original, maybe a couple of years ago. I was late going on that train, but damn if that isn't a really fun movie. And I didn't see the footage at D23, but my girlfriend did, and she said it was definitely worth checking out. I guess Penelope gets into since she is technically a Disney princess, she gets led into the room with all the other Disney princesses on the internet, and there's lots of very funny moments. Like I guess Snow White needs glasses. That's why she's always like, oh, because she can't see. She's and I guess Jasmine's allergic to cats. And
so why is she on Raja then?
Because that's how the story went. And I guess their handler is C-3PO, and they keep kind of teasing him. So yeah, that and the fact that they got the cast back, and I mean the first one was just so much fun. So yeah, I cannot wait. It's coming out late, but Ralph Breaks the Internet. Wreck-It Ralph 2. That's my number 8.
All right, very good. All right, my number 8. And this actually got seriously demoted. I think it was number 4 at first, but it got sent down all the way to number 8. I got Aquaman. The reason, and Mike, you did, but you did mention that they kind of you were part of the reason why this got demoted. So I mean, on my list, I did enjoy Justice League. I mean, I'm not going to rehash my entire thought process of it from our review. You want to know what I thought about Justice League in its entirety? Go watch our last episode. I talk all about it. But the big reason why I enjoy Justice League in spite of its flaws is because of just how good the characters were. And Aquaman was definitely one of them. Although I would say that among the 3 new entries, he was the one who made the least impression on me. I thought Ezra Miller and Ray Fisher made more of an impact on me. But Jason Momoa was certainly fine. I thought he was a great actor. I know he's a tremendous actor because my dad is obsessed with his Netflix show Frontier. He thinks it's one of the best shows on right now, and thinks Jason Momoa is an extremely talented actor. I would not deny that. So he seemed to be having the time of his life playing Aquaman. So when you have an actor who truly enjoys playing the character, I mean, that gives me hope. As I said about Elizabeth Banks and Power Rangers, But aside from Wonder Woman, DC has Warner Bros. Just has not done a good job of this universe. I mean, even though I enjoyed Justice League, there were a lot of flaws in this movie, and I could not overlook them. I really couldn't, even as good as the characters were. It wasn't enough to overlook some of those flaws, even though I still enjoyed it. But I mean, we'll see. I mean, I have faith in Jason Momoa. He's a tremendous actor, and he seems to love playing this character. But I'm Justice League did not do as much as I thought it would upon reflection to hope of the DCEU. I still think this franchise has a lot of work to do. So for that reason, Aquaman's got sent down to number 8. Chris, you seem shocked by that.
No, it's nothing. It's nothing.
Justice League had flaws, right?
Huh? No. No, it's not Justice League. It's something else. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So go ahead with number 7 on your list then.
Number 7 on my list is Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. I thought the first Jurassic World was pretty solid. I mean, it's certainly better than what we got from the Jurassic Park series for a certain number of years. Lost World Jurassic Park. Yeah. So it was a great. I mean, it kind of goes into familiar territory, and borrows much of the first plot from the first Jurassic Park. You had these 2 kids, visiting a relative of theirs, this park where all these genetically engineered dinosaurs and all hell breaks loose. Yeah, but it was a great, entertaining B movie. It did have its flaws. I mean, just sometimes some of the stuff can be a bit. Some of the stuff can be a little routine, so to speak. But I enjoyed it. It was great fun. It was great. It was a great popcorn movie. I enjoyed it. But this looks darker. This looks scarier. This looks way grittier. Man, it was a lot more heart pounding. And when I saw that trailer, I was like, it's like 2 words: Ian Malcolm. Jeff Goldblum back as Ian Malcolm. It's just like, yeah. I mean, that's like I said, I'm in. I knew I was in, but it got me a whole lot more interested in seeing the movie. I don't really expect much from it, but yeah, I'm definitely intrigued as to where this might go. I mean, this could be. It could be even better than the first Jurassic Park. I don't know. I guess that's a little too bold for me. I don't know, but yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing it. So, number 7 on my list is Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
Okay, Colton, what's number 7 on your list?
Number 7 on my list. Number 7 is Pacific Rim 2. So, as we all know, the first Pacific Rim, they did exactly what they set out to do, which was to make a movie about giant robots beating the crap or getting the crap beaten out of them by giant monsters. I mean, what more could you ask for? But they also managed to have a real sense of heart to it, and the fights were pretty well shot. It wasn't just people getting monsters getting punched. There was some creativity to it, and it looks like that creativity is going to be carried over into the second film. Of course, we got John Boyega as our lead character. He'd already made an impression as Finn in Star Wars: The Force Awakens. So this will be the first time I've seen him outside of that movie. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do beyond that character. And I also like, how it looks like they're going to add a few tweaks to the formula. Like, apparently we'll be seeing people fighting on the streets, fighting monsters on the streets or something like that, fighting other robots. And of course, we're going to get apparently an even much bigger giant monster at maybe at the end of the film or something like that goes against 4 other Jaegers. That's what they're called, right? Anyway, so I'm looking forward to seeing what that fight is like. It's like I really enjoy these kinds of blockbusters, where it's mostly about just the scale and spectacle. There's nothing that as long as the film team knows what they're doing, and it does seem like this is the kind of film team that can give us a spectacle of a blockbuster without making it feel empty, so to speak. So number 7 on my list is Pacific Rim 2.
All right, Mike, what's your number 7?
My number 7 is, it's maybe a bit of a shocker, but Solo, a Star Wars story.
Interesting.
You seem upset, Chris.
I think I can understand why, but why don't you explain why?
I mean, you guys know how huge of a Star Wars fan I am. I mean,
Indeed.
I'm going to see I'm going to see Last Jedi on Thursday and Friday. And so I mean, dude, look at my list of all the movies I want to see. All right, that's all an extensive list. And so Solo did make my list. All right, but I would be lying if I didn't say that all the drama behind the scenes took it down a couple pegs. I mean, and honestly, what kind of took it down another couple pegs, oddly enough, is Justice League, because Justice League, it pretty much the same drama. You had one director or other directors on it, and then they were removed, and another director came in to fill the gap. I mean, I have a lot more faith. I don't want to say I have a lot more faith in Ron Howard than I do in Joss Whedon, because I love Joss Whedon. I think he's a fantastic director. But I have a lot of faith in Ron Howard and what he can do. But it kind of threw me off a little bit when they didn't move the release date. I'm just a little worried after seeing what happened to the special effects and all that with Justice League when they had to try to force and try to rush the release date on that one. The fact that they're not moving the release date on Star Wars, it throws me off a little bit. So I have endless faith in Ron Howard. I think Kathleen Kennedy is a very smart person, and the fact that it's being written by
Lawrence Kasdan.
Thank you. Yeah, Lawrence Kasdan. That is definitely giving me a lot more faith. But just the behind the scenes drama, it tempered my faith a little bit. I can't wait to see this movie. I'm going to see opening night, absolutely. I want to be more excited for it than I actually am. Sorry.
We'll see if they release us a trailer. Maybe that'll do it.
If I saw a trailer before we made this list, it would probably be a little bit higher on my list. But we didn't, so it isn't.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. All right. My number 7 is Creed 2, and I do love the Rocky movies except for one of them. 3 and 4 are kind of guilty pleasures of mine. I do enjoy them despite how campy they are. But I didn't really see how they could continue telling this story after Rocky Balboa. I thought it was done. 6-film saga. It was great for the most part. Let it end. But I'll tell you this: Creed proved me wrong. It was very emotional, very well acted. I mean, I know that Fruitvale Station kind of made Michael B. Jordan a star, but I think it was Creed that made him an A-list superstar. He was just that good in the movie. Sylvester Stallone was fantastic as usual. I was kind of surprised by how well he did, to be honest with you. I enjoyed the movie very much. A lot of great character moments, some very good emotion, and of course some good action, fighting, boxing sequences, which you got to have that in a Rocky-esque movie, of course. I suppose technically we can call it a Rocky movie since it takes place in the same universe, even though Rocky ain't the star anymore. Yeah, I am looking forward to this, especially since we got the return of Ivan Drago, more or less. How Adonis is going to be fighting, his son. So fighting the son of the guy who murdered killed your father. I think that's going to be interesting. That'll lend itself fairly well.
I don't think that's been 100% confirmed.
I think it has, and I just read something earlier today that his son, Ivan's son, is going to be played by UFC megastar Brock Lesnar. So, I mean, I've seen pictures of the guy, even though I don't watch UFC, but the guy is fucking built like a tank. So, I mean, okay.
I've seen Brock Lesnar in WWE. The guy can't act a lick.
Yeah, well, maybe he's... Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Dolph Lundgren barely talked in Rocky 4. Maybe they'll just do the same with... Yeah,
at least Dolph Lundgren was an actor, though. Oh,
maybe he'll say a couple words, but maybe his punches will do more acting than his words. Maybe
if we live in a world where Dave if we live in a world where Dave Bautista can get us to like him as an actor, I think there might be hope.
Yeah, and from what I heard, John Cena just got nominated for a Golden Globe for something. So, I mean, I think wrestlers are getting better at acting. So, we'll see.
You mean John Cena?
So,
No,
yeah,
when you were saying that Creed made Michael B. Jordan an A-lister, I'd say that Creed actually saved his career because don't forget he had been in Fan Forstic before that.
True, but I mean, he's on such. I don't listen. Even the best actors are going to have a bomb or two in their lifetime. You can't have a perfect resume all the time. But yeah, so I think, yeah, Creed 2 is number 7 on my list. I have some good hope for that movie. All right, back around, Chris. What's number 6 on your list?
Well, okay, my number 6 is Black Panther.
Wow,
That's pretty low.
Really? Oh, I have my reasons because I have others that are above it that are better choices. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this. Black Panther's introduction into the Marvel Cinematic Universe with Captain America: Civil War was quite fine. It was an excellent introduction to the character. Chadwick Boseman really knocked it out of the park as the character. What I'm looking forward to this movie is the depiction of Wakanda, just like the environment, the culture, everything like that. It's not just in visuals. I think Ryan Coogler I think what he's done from what I've seen in the trailers, he looks to have really done marvelously, and no pun intended, in just depicting this other environment to the screen. That's just like everything like that. So it's like a place you definitely want to visit. It's like on one of your destinations, going on vacation, something like that. Well, I don't know about but it looks good. But what I'm looking forward to mostly is the cast. I mean, he's got Michael B. Jordan. He's got Lupita Nyong'o. He's got Angela Bassett. He's got Martin Freeman, who was in Captain America: Civil War. He's got Andy Serkis, who was in Age of Ultron. And the cast is he's got a well-suited cast to play the characters in this movie, which is and of course, we haven't really gotten a lot of black superheroes, but yeah, Chadwick Boseman was excellently excellently chosen to play the character. I have no doubt that his first movie is going to be just. Have no doubt it's going to be terrific. It's just Ryan Coogler, of course, we know about his resume, Fruitvale Station, Creed, it's just they got the right guy to make this movie. So number 6 on my list is Black Panther.
Okay. Colton, what's number 6 on your list?
Well, speaking of superheroes, number 6 on my list is Deadpool 2.
What?
Jimmy!
Whoa!
Jimmy! What?
That really was not nice, Chris.
Okay, are we...
Go on, Colton.
Deadpool 2 lost out to some other superhero films, okay?
Jimmy Tacos up your ass.
All right, are we good now? May I continue?
Yes.
Go on.
Deadpool 2 lost out. Deadpool 2 lost out to a couple of certain other superhero movies, but anyway, the reason it's on the list at all is because, well, okay, part of the reason why it's as low as it is because, well, we don't know much about what's going into the movie, aside from, just some of the casting and all that jazz, but it's on the list because I loved the first Deadpool. And the teaser trailer we got showed that we're still going to get the exact same, crazy, absurdist sort of style that we expected from the first Deadpool and all that jazz. And Ryan Reynolds still seems to really enjoy playing the parts. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. If I knew more about the movie, it would be higher up on the list. But as such, it's where it is because, well, like I said, I just don't know a whole lot about what's going to happen.
All right. I guess. Mike, what's number 6 on your list?
Well, first, for Colton, see this happy little tree right there? Is this happy little tree? Yeah, it's a happy little tree. Just don't eat that thing, okay?
Sweet baby Jesus, I love that white stuff.
All right, my number 6 is Mary Poppins Returns.
Oh, Mary Poppins, y'all!
Wrong movie.
I mean, Mary Poppins, the original, is one of my all-time favorite live-action Disney movies. I think it's just fantastic. It was by far one of Walt's favorite movies. In fact, one of the songs from that was Walt's favorite song before he died. And
Does it Feed the Birds? I forget.
Yes, it is.
I was gonna say
That'd be supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
No, it's Feed the Birds. But I mean, this movie, I was already kind of excited for it because Rob Marshall's directing it, Emily Blunt's starring in it. It's got original music by Lin-Manuel Miranda, who's also co-starring in it. Dick Van Dyke is back. It's got a killer cast. It's got some really quality talent behind it. But I was at D23, as I'm sure I've mentioned before, and they did show some footage from it. And they played the footage. It was silent footage they played on the big screens. But while they were doing that, they had a live orchestra playing some of the score to the original Mary Poppins, and that combination it made it pop for me. It took my excitement way up. So I cannot wait for this movie. Emily Blunt looks pretty spot on for Mary Poppins, the practically perfect in every way nanny. So yeah, I cannot wait for this movie. It's not coming out until like next December, but I will be there for first day. Mary Poppins Returns is my number 6.
Okay, good. All right. So my number 6, I got Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I did knock this a couple pegs. I think I had a number 4, number 5 originally, but I gotta admit, I did enjoy Ant-Man when I first saw it. It's kind of lost some of its appeal as I've looked back on it, and other movies that come out. Like I think last year when we did our top 10 favorite films in the MCU, I had Ant-Man at like number 5, and even though we didn't do one this year, I had Ant-Man number 7 on my list. So including it got bumped down by some films that were actually below it last year's list. But I mean, it was still a fine movie, and if what Colin said, like this is Marvel's first all-out romantic comedy, I'm like, okay, changing up things up a little bit. Let's see how this goes. But I mean, yeah, I thought Ant-Man, the first Ant-Man, like it wasn't a bad movie by any stretch. It was certainly a great movie. I just didn't think it was as memorable as like some of Marvel's other movies. There's nothing wrong with that. Not every Marvel movie can be a groundbreaker like Avengers or Winter Soldier or Civil War, or even Doctor Strange with its effects. But I mean, I'm certainly excited for it. You better believe I'm going to see it. There are just a few movies that are higher on my list. I'm anticipating a little bit more. All right, we're halfway done, guys. Let's keep the ball rolling. Chris, what's number 5 on your list?
Okay, my number 5 is Deadpool 2.
Okay, so you mute me because I had Deadpool 2 at number 6.
I know. I'm a bonehead. But
I was just about to tell you.
I thought it was only fair.
Good job, Mike.
I did not. I'm a human. I'm a human being. I did not deserve this. I don't need to take this from you all.
Why are you still here?
But anyway, Deadpool 2. Yes, I enjoyed the first movie. It was a breath of fresh air, featuring the introduction of a character who become extremely popular. And just like, disfigured, unstable. I mean, just like, but he has a special sort of charm to him. Yes, he has a very talkative nature about him. no wonder why they call him the Merc with the Mouth. I mean, he's not Ryan Johnson. Ryan Reynolds was excellent an excellent choice in reprising this role after the horrifying treatment he got from X-Men Origins Wolverine. let's erase that film from our memory.
Barack Obama.
I mean, like Miranda Baccarin as his fiance, and she's smoking, and she's witty, and she is sassy, and I love it. And it's just, I mean, I just absolutely love it. And, I mean, it was like they're going to take it to another kooky level with Josh Brolin, who's going to be Cable, and of course, he's going to have that other Marvel connection. He has that other Marvel connection as Thanos. So in another Marvel movie, which I'm pretty sure will be mentioned in this episode, but yeah, I won't elaborate further. But yeah, he's going to be starring in another Marvel movie next year. So, but yeah, I mean, I hope it doesn't border on repetition, like cover the same ground. You know, I look for it to have that same charm. I mean, you know, that it had the first time, that same kind of, that sort of spark, you know, that dynamite quality to it. You know, it's just like, I don't want it to be like rehashed, but I feel it's in very capable hands. It's just like, I'm really, really enthusiastic. I mean, it's just like I said, the original Deadpool was just fucking awesome. It's just like in every sense of the word. Just like, I mean, I'm anticipating it at the same level as I did the first one. It's just like, I can't wait till we see our favorite Merkel from Alvin. Yes, so number 5 on my list is Deadpool 2.
Alrighty then, Colton, what's number 5 on your list?
Number 5 on my list is New Mutants. So when I saw the trailer for New Mutants, I was like, "What the fuck? Fuck?" But after a while, I really like this concept. Actually, I mean, a superhero horror movie. I mean, it's not something we've ever seen before. I mean, we've seen superhero movies that have like toyed with being other genres, you know. But I feel like this is the first time where they're like full on committing to the genre that they are, you know, rather than being a sort of a hybrid. It feels like they're fully committing to the idea of being a superhero movie that's a horror film, so to speak. And it looks like it could be effectively creepy, judging from the trailers. I mean, some of the trailer was a little silly, but it does look like it might be it could be effective if it's done well. And this is part of the reason why I would like, you know, everything X-Men related to, you know, stay out of the MCU, just to allow for, you know, ideas like this to take place, so to speak. So yeah, number 5 on my list is New Mutants. I'm hoping that this isn't the time where Fox decides to, you know, fuck things up, you know, and we have to wait for them to get themselves back together or whatever.
All right. Mike, what's number 5 on your list?
Yeah, they already messed up enough. Fan forced it.
Just paid movie money for that one. Yeah. All right, my number 5 is Ant-Man and the Wasp. I mean, like you guys had said, Ant-Man was a very pleasant surprise. I didn't know what to expect when I went into that one, but I ended up loving it a lot more than it sounds like a lot of you guys did. And it's sustained that enjoyment level for me. So the sequel, I am all on board with. Having the whole, you know, the give and take between all the banter between all those guys, having that back would be nice. A romantic comedy, okay, sure, yeah. You know what? Kevin Feige has absolutely gained our faith in what he brings to us, and you know what? Every time he says, "Yeah, this movie's got a very like such and such a vibe," everyone's all like, "Yeah, okay, yeah." They always say that, and then the movie comes out and holy crap, it's got such and such a vibe. So I am done doubting him. When he says it's a romantic comedy, I fully believe it's going to be a romantic comedy. So I cannot wait to see what they have to give me, and bring Michelle Pfeiffer and Larry Fishburne into the mix. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, it should be interesting, and I cannot wait to see Evangeline Lilly kick some ass in the Wasp suit. So yeah, number 5, Ant-Man and the Wasp.
All right, nice. All right, so number 5 on my list, and this also got demoted a little bit. Was the next spot originally, but number 5 I got Solo, a Star Wars movie, and the reason is pretty much like a lot of you guys have said. I mean, listen, I'm a crazy huge Star Wars fan. I own all the movies. I've been waiting to see if I can get the Clone Wars animated complete series Blu-ray box set on sale so I can finally buy it because I love that show. I bought Rebels. I'm enjoying that so far, even though it's not as good. I mean, I'm a fucking Star Wars nutball, so I mean, of course I'm gonna go see this. But I'd be lying if I said the whole director swap and all the reshoots and the fact that they have not pushed this movie back to at least a couple months, does make me nervous. I mean, hopefully, they Justice League, which I'm just hoping it doesn't turn into another Justice League, which was fine. They said I did enjoy it, even though it was tremendously flawed. I don't want a tremendously flawed Star Wars movie. I mean, not anymore.
Yeah, we got the prequels.
Yeah, don't turn this movie into a fucking prequel movie. I mean, Rogue One didn't do that. You stunned us all with Rogue One. Keep it going with this, okay? So yeah, number 5 is Solo, a Star Wars story.
So I guess I guess what we're saying is that we don't want them to choke on their aspirations.
Be careful not to choke on your aspirations, Mickey. On that note, oh, you know what? I'll get to that later because I'm going to bring this up another time. Okay, number 4 on your list, Chris, is...
My number 4 is Ready Player One. Oh my goodness, yeah, because of course it's based on the Ernest Cline novel, and of course you got the legendary Steven Spielberg adapting it to the screen. After seeing two trailers of this film, I'm like, this film looks bonkers. Like basically like Willy Wonka meets the Matrix. Got this kid, who's an orphan who spends all his time in this virtual reality universe, and it's just like, and he's built up by this guy and built by this, and he's having time obsessing with the guy who created it, and of course the creator has passed on, leaves this Easter egg, and the thing this them lead and basically the plot's like Willy Wonka. Basically, he leaves like an Easter egg, and whoever finds the Easter egg inherits his fortune and his company. So everyone's basically on a race to find this egg. I mean, quite exhilarating. I mean, it's just like, it's basically pop culture nirvana. Basically, you got references to like not only Spielberg's movies, though he didn't use a ton of them because he didn't want to look vain, so to speak. But basically the stuff in the '80s. Like, of course, you got that. I'm just in love with how they brought the Iron Giant into the movie. That's just freaking awesome. That's just freaking cool. Just like, I was worried about it being about effects overload, so to speak. I mean, it's just like, but they managed to do the effects well. And it's just like, as long as they don't take away from the story, just like, this looks like a lot of fun. It's like totally electrifying. It looks like vintage Spielberg. It's just like, yeah, we got him. Of course, he's been doing a lot of historical dramas, but he's going back to the films that he did early in his career. It's really great that he's gone back to sci-fi, fantasy, action films because, this is like, yeah, there are few who could do it as good as he can. I mean, I can't wait to see what he does with this material. So number 4 on my list is Ready Player One.
All right. Colton, what's number 4 on your list?
Number 4 on my list is also Ready Player One. So, I mean, Chris covered a lot of the good parts. Then we got Steven Spielberg, and it also looks, as our director, a man that usually doesn't. Well, okay, yes, he can do wrong, but when he does, but this looks like something that's right up his alley, and in a way. And I only saw the first trailer, but that trailer really won me over. It looks like it's going to be every special effects team's wet dream, and the wet dream of video game lovers everywhere. I'd say, like, I love how this world looks. I love seeing, some of the different characters. Like they had the Iron Giant in there. I think I saw the DeLorean from Back to the Future during a car race. I'm like, damn, this looks like so cool. I mean, I know jack squat about the story, admittedly. And now that I think of it, that's kind of the reason why I had Deadpool lower on the list. But In this case, though, I just feel like the fact that I've seen footage of this movie is and the fact that I just really love what I've seen and it appeals to me as a video gamer, well, ex-video gamer, so to speak, is why I'm really looking forward to seeing this one. I'm hoping it doesn't disappoint. It looks like it'll be a blast to see in theaters.
All right. Okay. Mike, what's number 4 on your list?
My number 4 is Black Panther.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, sorry. For me, Black Panther was the biggest and most pleasant surprise of Civil War. I mean, I've said this before, but his character and the fact that gave him such a complete story arc that kind of overarches throughout the rest of the movie and mingles in with the other character arcs. That is probably the best way you could introduce a character that's not in their own movie. And the fact that they did that with Black Panther, and they cast just brilliant casting with Chadwick Boseman, was, I mean, I love that character. I thought I could not. It's just seeing Civil War made me so friggin' excited to see the Black Panther movie, and the trailers have done nothing to dim that enthusiasm. In fact, it's amplified it more. So I cannot wait for this movie. I think it looks fantastic. I think Chadwick Boseman is perfect as Black Panther, as T'Challa. They have really maxed out this cast with the creme de la creme of actors. I mean, just throw a dart and you have just a fantastic cast anywhere. So I cannot wait for this movie. It's only about 2 months away, so hell yeah. February sucks for movies? I don't think so, not anymore. Deadpool a couple years ago, and now we got Black Panther. Hell yeah. So yeah, my number 4 is absolutely Black Panther.
All right. Nice one. Okay, so number 4 on my list, and this is gonna be the shocker on my list. I did not know this movie was coming out, but now that I know, I am pumped as hell to see this. Number 4 is The Meg. This movie is an adaptation of Steve Alten's book of the same name about a scientist who dives down into the Marianas Trench, the lowest point on Earth, and comes face to face with a Carcharodon megalodon, the largest species of shark to ever inhabit the planet. This shark is so fucking massive, it could make a great white shark look like a fucking midget. So you want to talk about real life monsters? Megalodon is a real monster. Okay? I read the book my junior year in high school, and I absolutely loved it. There's no trailer for this yet, but I'm hoping it'll be great. I think Steve Alten is a tremendous author. I've read that, and, well, let's just say if this movie proves to be a hit, I'm hoping that will open the door into an adaptation of my all-time favorite book, which I brought up in our literature interrogation episode, The Walk. That is my favorite book of all time. Meg was written by the same author. I have high hopes for this film, and I hope it does well. I want to see a monster shark on screen, and hopefully I want to see the Loch Ness Monster on screen as a terrifying killer. So, number 4 on my list is The Meg. I'm excited for this, and hopefully we get a trailer soon.
Paul, you do realize that The Meg is starring Jason Statham, right?
I must have missed that part, but hey, as long as there's a monster shark in there, hopefully that'll prove good.
Way to kill its anticipation. Way to try to kill its anticipation there, Mike.
Hey, I love The Meg too. I've got the book right over there. I read it. I enjoyed it. It's just when I heard the movie, I was like, cool, Jason Statham. Oh.
Yeah, I've never seen any of his movies, so I don't know how bad he is.
Oh, yeah.
It's not that he's bad. It's just that Jason Statham, he's the kind of guy that you hire to kick ass and look awesome while doing it, and not exactly a leading man material, I guess you could say.
I would see more of like doing a roundhouse kick against the shark rather than like swimming into him and cutting out his heart.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Like, I've never seen any Jason Statham movies, though. We'll see.
He's like the last of the breed of straight up action stars, I guess you could say, sort of following the footsteps of Schwarzenegger, in a way.
All right, then. All right. Well, we'll see. All right. So we're up in the top 3 people. So, Chris, what's number 3 on your list?
All right, my number 3 is The Incredibles 2. My goodness, again, The Incredibles is one of my favorite animated films. I think Brad Bird is an absolute remarkable talent, and just like the wit, and just like the the invention behind it. Just The Incredibles is just it's pure delight. It's pure delight. I absolutely love this movie. I mean, I adore it actually. I think, that's like my second favorite. It's just like the way, the cleverness, everything like that. Just like the humor. It's just like he just exploded with that movie, and just like, and to figure we had to wait long for a sequel. It's better be worth the damn. It's been what, 14 years. It better be damn well worth the wait, because we've been waiting for a long time, Brad. Yeah. Well, it's like, yeah, it's just like yeah. I mean, it's like, I like they break by the original cast, and it's like. But one thing is like that's quite intriguing to me. They're going to make Elastigirl the focus of this movie. I'm not sure what to make of that, but I'm with it. I mean, I'm with it. I'm with what they're going to do. I think there's, I mean, we could see some interesting scenarios, some interesting ventures with her being the main protagonist of it. And it's just like, I mean. Of course, we got the same players again. Of course, we got Edna Mode, the lovely Edna Mode, the great. And of course, we got Frozo. It's like, Money, where's my super suit? Where's my super suit? You tell me about my super suit, this woman. And it's one of my favorite parts of that movie. It's like, yeah, it's like brought back most of the original cast. It's just like, I'm just like I said, I'm in love with the first movie. I love the first movie. It's just like, I like 14 years, and we've been waiting for this. Brad Bird, I mean, hopefully you will not disappoint us. I wasn't a big fan of Tomorrowland, but I'm willing to keep the faith with him. It's just like, I'm willing to keep the faith that he will a film that is well worth the wait. So number 3 on my list is The Incredibles 2.
Okay. Colton, what's number 3 on your list?
Someone is probably going to mute me after I say my number 3, but anyway, my number 3 is Avengers Infinity.
Didn't even let the motherfucker finish.
I know where I was going.
Sucker Colton.
You were kind of asking for it. Sorry, buddy. You had to know that was coming. Or at least you knew. I mean, I give you props. You knew it was coming, but
did you even hear what I said?
Yes, we did.
We heard enough.
Anyway, Avengers Infinity War is my number 3, okay? Now hear me out. It's not number 1 because you'll understand, because that another superhero movie is my number 1 for 2018. And because I am partially obligated to see this movie, because if I don't, I will have wasted 10 years of my life. That's why it's at number 3. But the reason it's as high on the list as it is because, again, it's the culmination of 10 years with the storytelling. It's the Avengers coming back together again to go up against the ultimate evil, the Mad Titan himself, Thanos. And we've seen, well, I didn't see the leaked trailer, but I saw the official trailer, and it looks like they are definitely not disappointing, you know? Well, we got, well, most of the major players, or we saw most of the major players in that movie. No Hawkeye for some reason, but, well, I guess because screw Hawkeye, but anyway, I love seeing how get this man a shield. You know, Black Panther's calling the shots. He and his warriors are going up against Thanos's whatever those things are called. Seeing Spider-Man apparently trying to go head-to-head with Thanos, very foolish on his part, but hey, it's Spider-Man, so I mean, what do you expect? Of course, probably one of the most shocking moments of the trailer is when Tony turns around. When Tony turns around to, I guess, looking at Thanos, he looks absolutely scared and a little broken. I mean, this is Tony Stark we're talking about. We never really see him that, you know, emotional about something, and that's a bit of a damn. I mean, what happened? Is Peter dead or something? And even though Thanos looks a tad silly without his armor on, I still feel a sense of power coming from him, and the effects work on him actually does look pretty stellar, actually. So yeah, I'm hoping for. It looks like this is gonna be a. It looks like they are definitely pulling out all the stops to ensure that the audience's 10-year journey is one that's well worth it. And of course, we can't forget about the last second appearance of the Guardians of the Galaxy at the end of that trailer. That just was a good way to close it out. Thor's like, "Who the hell are you people?" And then we see the Guardians of the Galaxy, and then Mantis just waves at him like she's thinking, "Hi, I am Mantis." So, Kevin Feige, you better not let us down, because if you do, we will unfurl 1,000 years of fanboy vengeance upon Marvel Studios and burn it to its core. Sorry, I let my inner Ronan the Accuser out for a second.
You got a little carried away there.
What the fuck, Mike? What'd you mute me for?
You were going over dramatic.
That's what Ronan the Accuser does. He might as well be called Ronan the Large Ham. I mean...
Yeah, I'd mute him too.
Hamry as the guy who played Maine the Merciless and Charles Middleton and all those Flash Gordon serials.
So yeah, anyway, Avengers Infinity War, that's my number 3. And also, poor Vision. I really hope he doesn't... I really hope that scene of him getting the Infinity Stone maybe ripped out of his skull isn't curtains for the character, because for a guy we've seen in only 2 movies, he's really made an impression.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's probably curtains for him. I don't know.
Oh yeah, more than likely it is. All right, Mike, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Deadpool 2. Want to see my happy little tree? It's a happy little tree.
Want to roll around all that watch?
No, I mean, the Deadpool was out of that year. What was it? 2016. 2016.
Yeah.
It was it was in my top 10 of that year. It was possibly in my top 5 of that year. I loved that movie. It was fantastic from start to finish. And so I have nothing but high hopes for the second one. Yeah, they're not getting Tim Miller back, but they got one of the directors from John Wick, and those two guys also co-directed the airport scene from Civil War. So hell yeah, the action is going to be off the charts for this one. And you've got the writers back. You got not Ryan Johnson. Jeez, what the hell?
Reynolds.
No, Ryan Reynolds. Thank you. Sorry. He's back, and he was a major part of the production for that movie.
Mm-hmm.
So this movie is going to be off the chain. I mean, that like what 10 seconds of 3-second clip, half-second clips here and there. That was all I really needed to see to get me so super excited. I think Negasonic Teenage Warhead looks fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
You got Dirk Pender back, which he was such a surprise and a very pleasant one from the first movie. So there's nothing I've seen yet to make me less excited for this movie. I cannot wait. I want this to be so freaking good. So yeah, number 3, Deadpool 2.
Joe Pender's probably going to be in jail when he in Deadpool 2, considering that he kidnapped his cousin, was it? Or was it his brother? Or something?
No, his rival, his romantic rival.
He kidnapped his romantic rival, stuffed him in the trunk of his taxi, and then the taxi got rear-ended. So.
All right.
All for the love of Gita.
Hey, that picture. Whew, I think we all do something.
That's what
I did not tell him to do that. Joe Pender, you need to let him out of the cab right now. I'm so proud of you.
That's what Deadpool 2 should be called. It should be Deadpool 2 for the love of Gita.
I'm all for that. Okay, number 3 on my list is Black Panther. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, Civil War is my all-time favorite Marvel movie. There were so many moments that I was expecting to see and I absolutely loved, but Chadwick Boseman, he fucking stole the show. And let's be honest, he stole the show on that. He was absolutely stunning. I was not expecting that, but he delivered fantastic. And that trailer got me so fucking hyped. Oh, yes. So, Honestly, I really don't have too much to say beyond what you guys have said. I mean, it's fucking Black Panther. I cannot wait. If I did have one bit of concern, it's this, and even though it may seem a strange concern, I do think it's valid. Though this one may get me muted, I'm not 100% sure. With all of the civil unrest going around this country the past couple years, I'm hoping this movie does not get too political. Like, I hope it just walks the line the way Winter Soldier did. Like, that was enough. Just keep it on that line. Don't make this an overly political message. That is not why I go to see these movies, okay? Besides, I don't give a rat's ass about politics. You all know that. So just don't go too far into that. Don't make it too political. Don't try to send a message. Don't try to put that message in our face. If you want to go that road, okay?
I mean,
that's all I ask.
So
I don't think that's too much.
He's a king, so I think there's going to be some politics involved or whatever.
Yeah, I'm talking about related to what's going on in this country the past couple of years, all the unrest going on with all the police officers and all that stuff going on that I don't really want to tell y'all know about. I don't want that in my face, okay? Just keep it subtle. If you're gonna do it, keep it subtle. That's all I ask. I don't think I'm asking too much. Please, Marvel. But yeah, okay, done. Number 2, Chris, go.
All right, my number 2 is Mary Poppins Returns. Yeah, the first Mary Poppins is a classic to me. Julie Andrews, oh my God. Could you find anyone better to play that role than she? I don't think you can. But to me, Emily Blunt seems like someone who's worthy of who seems properly fit to step into the shoes of the role that Julie Andrews portrayed over 50 years ago. I mean, Mark Marshall. I think it's a fine choice to play to direct the film. Of course, he directed Chicago, Best Picture winner right there. I know, although I haven't seen Hamilton, I do recognize Lin-Manuel Miranda as a huge talent, basically, and it's interesting to see what he brings to the musical side of things. In the sequel. Before we started the show, we talked about sequels we didn't expect to get. This is one of those sequels, though. I didn't expect to get this I expect that we get a Mary Poppins sequel. It's just one of those things you didn't think would happen. I admit there was a certain amount of wariness, when this was announced, but I have complete faith in the filmmakers and the cast. Of course, they got Julie Walters, who was Mrs. Weasley from the Harry Potter movies. You got Meryl Streep, Colin Firth, of course, the returning Dick Van Dyke. Who doesn't love Dick Van Dyke? Angela Lansbury, the legendary Angela Lansbury in this movie. It has that same delight. I'm pretty sure with this movie. I'm pretty sure with this movie. As far as I know, the Mary Poppins in the film is. The literary version of Mary Poppins is very stern, very strict, very no nonsense. And Julie Andrews' portrayal is stern, but she's more gentle and more cheerful and more nurturing. But I suspect they're going to go back to they're base Blunt's portrayal on the literary version, which is going to be interesting to see how they're going to be faithful to the literary version of the character. But all in all, I really am. I'm very excited to see this film. I'm really interested to see what they're going to bring with this film. So number 2 is Mary Poppins Returns.
Okay, Colton, what's number 2 on your list?
Number 2 on my list is Wreck-It Ralph 2. Ralph Breaks the Internet. Okay, so Wreck-It Ralph was probably one of the biggest pleasant surprises I saw I didn't see it when it came out I didn't see it the exact day it came out, year it came out, but it was still a major surprise to me. I wasn't expecting a movie about a video game character that's tired of being a bad guy, trying to turn over a new leaf and become a good guy, to be so heartfelt. And so that really has me looking forward to seeing more of that old Disney heart and more than Wreck-It Ralph 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet, but I'm also looking forward to it because it's Ralph on the internet. I mean, they can have a lot of fun and creativity with that sort of setup. Because I'll admit, one kind of problem with Wreck-It Ralph was that we spent most of our time in that in Sugar Rush, which wasn't. While they had a lot of clever gags and stuff there, it was a little disappointing that you did have to wonder what some of the other games were like. So I think that them being on the internet will allow for more creativity, give them a bit more creativity, to do more visually entertaining worlds, so to speak. And given how Ralph's been in an arcade all his life, seeing him having to adapt to the internet can be pretty hilarious. The fact that the internet's like every man for himself. It's like hundreds of players all the time. It's like a never-ending rush of information. I mean, Ralph's probably gonna have a panic attack trying to process all of this. And he could barely handle being in Hero Studio when he was like, "When did video games get so scary and violent?" So man, I just can't wait to see how he reacts to being in the world of in the World Wide Web. And of course, there's apparently all the Disney princesses we're going to be seeing coming back. That should also be a great gag waiting to happen. And don't screw this one up, Disney, or we'll find you and burn Disney to its core.
Don't be so dramatic, Colton.
My list is Wreck-It Ralph.
See, I was willing to give him some leeway, but okay.
Need to watch the overdramatics, okay? Just need to.
So anyway, number 2 is Wreck-It Ralph 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet. You do that to me again, and I will burn Nerds United once. Forget it.
You saw Colton.
Anyone else want to mute him? I mean, Mike has done it. I've done it. Chris, it's up to you.
Preemptive strike. I like
it. It's funny how Chris is just ready to do that spaz on it at a minute's notice.
Yeah, I have to admit that is rather entertaining.
I have a feeling he probably does that 2 or 3 times a day, just randomly.
What's number 2 on your list?
My number 2 is Incredibles 2. I mean, The Incredibles is my favorite Pixar movie of all time. It clicked off every single button of what I wanted to see in a superhero movie. I still hold it is the best Fantastic Four movie ever created. Although granted, that's not really saying a whole lot. Yeah, I mean, they nailed the family dynamic perfectly, and it's got the same director, same Michael Giacchino's back for the score, which, I mean, that score is a major part of why it's such a great movie too, because Michael Giacchino just nailed it. I was so glad I got his autograph at D23, but yeah, sadly I did not get to see the footage at D23. I just missed out by like one line. I was one line away from being into that panel when they closed it. But the teaser trailer was more than enough for me. I cannot wait for this movie. I don't mind the fact that it is basing around Elastigirl, Elastigwoman now, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, Helen Hunt was a fantastic part of the original. I'm glad they got the only one they didn't get back was the voice for Dash, but that kind of makes sense. But yeah, I mean, yeah. But yeah, I mean, like I said, Incredibles is absolutely my favorite movie. And after 14 years, 14, 15, 16, who knows how many years, I just want them to get it right. I just want to have that same experience or a similar experience anyway. I don't know if they'll ever be able to top the first one. But so yeah, my number 2 is Incredibles 2.
You mean number 2?
Yeah, sorry, I meant that, yeah.
Okay. Number 2 for me is Deadpool 2. And I don't think I need to explain why. Y'all have done that already. I mean, Deadpool was fucking amazing. I was laughing my ass off the whole time. It was a whole lot of fun.
Enough with the tree, Mike.
Well, see, now I gave it a little funny little bush and a happy little mountain as well.
kill Mike.
What? That's how it feels.
Play that game.
You tell me.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, Deadpool 2. We're getting Cable in here. Marina Backer is back. We got Domino showing up. Teenage Warrior looks fantastic. I'm excited. I'm just gonna come out right out and say I'm fucking excited for this movie. I'm definitely gonna be seeing opening day. Mike, that's the movie that you, me, and Caleb ought to consider going to see together. I don't know how many of those we can do next year, but that should definitely be one of them. The only thing I would have to say to add is this. Disney, if you're watching this, I think I can speak for, Deadpool fans everywhere, or maybe not. I don't know. I really can speak for myself. But if this deal happens, if you do acquire Fox, I know you have an image to uphold. I get it. And I can honestly think of worse dictators to live under than Mickey Mouse. But please leave the Deadpool movies alone. Keep them R-rated.
All hail the mouse.
If you want to tone him down, if he shows up in, like, an Avengers movie, and you need to tone him down for that and make him PG, okay, that's fine. I understand that. And I can accept that. That is a fair compromise. But when he's off doing his own thing, keep him R-rated, okay? I don't think I'm asking too much of that, especially when I'm allowing you to tone him down for larger ensemble movies when he shows up with the Avengers or Spider-Man and just a larger movie. But when he's doing his own thing, let him be R-rated. Let him be as vulgar as he wants, okay? Please, Disney, just do that for us, okay? And we will fully support you, all right? We've been waiting for X-Men, the Fantastic Four. Hell, we've been waiting for 12 years to get a good Fantastic Four movie. It hasn't happened yet. But just when Deadpool's doing his own thing, let him be. Let him be as vulgar and funny as he wants, okay? Just do that for us. Just do that for us. That's not too much to ask. Just please. From a diehard Deadpool fan, and I'm sure there are a lot of Deadpool fans.
Pretty sure they're seeing the poster in the background, though.
Yeah. See that poster? I want that R-rated Deadpool. If this deal goes down, let him be R-rated, please. Please.
If Deadpool actually does show up in the Avengers, I just really want to see him just stab one of the Chitauri with like one of their weapons, just something just right through the chest, and then he just turns to the camera and says, "Remind me, how is this not R-rated just because he's CGI or something?"
I'm sure they'll find a way to make it work, okay? But let him be R-rated in his own movie. That's all I ask. That's all I'm asking. And I don't think I'm asking too much, Disney, so please. And with that, I'm done. Okay. This is it, guys. Moment of truth. Number ones. Let's go. Chris, what is your number one?
Well, actually, my number one is a tie. Okay. Yeah, it's a tie.
Oh, ties, goddamn you.
John, before I slap you in your bald head. Wait, stop.
Ooh. That was going too far, Chris.
Here, okay.
That was the pot.
All right.
That was the pot calling the kettle black right there.
What? What?
You're bald too, or are you too tricky to take that hat off?
Yeah, what? We've all seen nothing on your baldy. Got something. I'm still rocking it.
Let's see, how about put my foot in all your action? Okay, stop. Okay, my tie is all right. First of the movie side of this position is Solo, a Star Wars story. Yeah, I know y'all have some trepidation. I know y'all have some wariness, because of the strife that has happened. The switching of the directors at the helm. Yeah, we originally had Fort Lord and Chris Miller of the Late Gold movie and the Jump Street movies at the helm of these movies, but they were removed from the production due to create differences. So they brought in Brian Howard, who's very much acclaimed director in his own right. I like Brian Howard. I mean, his resume speaks for itself. And he, films like Paul 13, The Beautiful Mind, which I thought was an egregious choice for Best Picture, but it's a decent film nonetheless. Of course, he directed Willow. Of course, he has an association with Lucasfilm. I mean, of course, yeah, not only he directed Willow, but he starred in Lucas's American Graffiti. Yeah. So he pretty much has an association with the company. I know y'all have some doubts about it being end up like Justice League, like kind of Frankensteinish mismatch of two directors. But little piece of trivia for kids, little piece of trivia for back in film history, two films, released in 1939 that will go on to be some of the greatest movies ever made: The Wizard of Oz and Gone with the Wind. They were credited by the same guy, Victor Fleming. Victor Fleming's credited as the director of both films, but both of those productions had various directors at the helm of it. Various directors switched during. It had various changes of the guard, so to speak. Sort of. Yeah, that's happened before. It's just those productions are pretty much a product of that sort of thing of them replacing directors, so to speak. But they turn out to be most revered of motion pictures. Like I said, it could turn out to be like those movies. It turned out to be a great movie, despite their switching of positions of director during the productions of both of those movies. But yeah, it could turn out to be what we saw with Justice League. And I didn't, I didn't like Justice League. I didn't care for it. I'm aware that it could be, could turn out to be less than expected. But me being the Star Wars fan that I am, I have hope that this movie will be done well. I have hope that this will be a wonderful Star Wars movie. Of course, we're going to see how we're going to see Han, we're probably going to see how he acquired the Millennium Falcon. And of course, Lando, probably going to see the Kessel Run. Yeah, we're anxious to see these movies. How he met Chewbacca. Come on. What Star Wars fan wouldn't like to see these things happening? I'm really excited to see this movie. Really excited. And also, at the tied with Solo, a Star Wars story, is Avengers Infinity War. Oh my Lord. Oh, we've been waiting 10 years for this moment. Oh my goodness. Yes. The Marvel Cinematic Universe has not let us down yet. It hasn't let us
start the Dark World.
Huh? What was that? It wasn't that bad to me. It's not a great film, but it's not bad per se. But however, yeah. It's just it looks darker. It looks more evolving. It looks a lot more emotional. It's just it looks quite explosive, so to speak. But the cast, the roster they got for this movie, you got all the Avengers. Iron Man, Thor, Captain America. When he's not Captain America at this point, Steve Rogers. The Hulk. You got Doctor Strange. You got Scarlet Witch. You got the Guardians of the Galaxy. It's pretty much the movie Marvel has wanted to make for some time. Just they're putting out all this. It's they're not really so much putting up all the stuff. It's just but this looks massive in terms of the scale. It just looks epic. I just seen that trailer. I was just floored, man. It's just I'm anxiously waiting for this movie to arrive. I cannot wait. We've been waiting for this for 10 years. Being Franz looks like he's a force to be reckoned with, of course. Josh Brolin looks like he is going to deliver, man. I'm anxiously waiting for this movie to arrive. So, number one, tied at the number one spot on my list is Star Wars Story and Avengers Infinity War.
All right. Colton, what's your number one?
Number one on my list is Black Panther. Yes, higher than Infinity War. Yes. Okay, don't go muting me. It's Black Panther, Chris.
I'm not doing it.
Are we good?
Yes.
If Marvel fails us with Infinity War, we'll hunt you down, burn you to the core. Let me stop.
Anyway, it's only fair, Chris. Black Panther. One of the reasons I'm enjoying it is because, like you guys said, when we saw Black Panther, he had a very good interjection and a mini story arc in Captain America. What was I saying? Yeah, Black Panther, he had a good mini story arc during Captain America Civil War. And oh my gosh, Chris is bald.
My eyes!
I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm losing my place. I like Black Panther's mini story arc in Captain America: Civil War. But what I really am looking forward to in this movie is the fact that it looks like it's going to be one thing that I really want the MCU to remember is that it's not all about the Avengers, and I like how it looks like Black Panther is going to have his own full adventure that's going to be able to be as big as it wants to be without having to worry about messing with Marvel's grand plan, so to speak. Kind of like how the Guardians of the Galaxy are in a different galaxy, so they can do pretty much whatever the hell they want. And so I like how Black Panther is taking place in the secret nation of Wakanda, which looks just awesome. I mean, they weren't kidding when they said it's like probably the most impressive stuff we've seen in the MCU thus far. Even more impressive looking than Asgard, I think. And I like Chadwick Boseman. I loved him in Civil War, so I'm looking forward to seeing how he handles his own story arc. And Michael B. Jordan, I was a little iffy about seeing him as a bad guy, but he looks like he actually might be able to pull it off. So I'm looking forward to seeing someone that we've seen play a pretty heroic character in Adonis, going and being someone like Killmonger. Admittedly, Killmonger having a Black Panther suit of his own is we've seen that plenty of times where the bad guy has the same powers as the hero, but I can let that go mostly. And when your enemy has a suit made of vibranium, it only makes sense that you'd have one of your own to even the odds. And let's see, what else am I looking forward to? There's also the fact that might seem obvious, but I like that it's a black superhero film because we don't have a whole lot of those outside of Spawn and the Blade films and Catwoman, which never mind, never happened. Anyway, my number one, the movie I'm looking forward to most is Black Panther. Oh yeah, and of course we've got what's his name, Andy Serkis as Ulysses Claw. He was a pretty cool part of Age of Ultron. Who loved his line where he's like, either you compensate me for this, or the next missile I send you will come very much faster. So, looking forward to seeing what other one-liners he might have in this movie, and just seeing Andy Serkis in the flesh acting is kind of a surprise. So I'm curious to see if he can carry how far we'll be seeing his villainy in this movie. Of course, we got Martin Freeman there as well. Good old Bilbo Baggins. And I liked one of his lines in the trailer where he was talking about how Wakanda makes everything he's seen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe look like child's play look like child's play as a result of just something else I enjoy. Because in the past it seemed like Tony Stark had all the best stuff, and the Wakandans are probably like, yeah, we have like 6 of these here, and Black Panther would probably say, yeah, we have like 6 of these or something in our nation or what have you. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And we got Lupita Nyong'o in this movie. You can't go wrong with her. I only wish that if the Marvel Fox deal goes through, and we can also, I want to say, if there's only one character from Fox that we could get into the MCU, though, I wish it could be Storm, just to see her and Black Panther interact. So and who knows if we get something like that out of the deal, I will be pretty happy. So fingers crossed on that front. So number one on my list is Black Panther. Oh, and of course, the action, it looks like it's going to be phenomenal, especially that shot where Black Panther actually jumps off a car, runs across the side of the building, jumps at another car, and rips out one of its wheels. I'm like, damn, it's how powerful is this guy?
All right. Mike, what is your number one most anticipated film of 2018?
Well, I mean, unless anyone could guess, right there, that big bad mother.
Wow, what a surprise!
Yeah, because that trailer was a work of art. Although, granted, there was a lot more footage at the D23 footage, which I did see.
Stop bragging.
Have I said that before?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was the D23 footage was awesome, and there was more of it, but it wasn't as artistically done as that trailer. That trailer where it had that Nick Fury's monologue, but spoken with the different members of the Avengers, that was amazingly done. But I mean, this is a movie that they've been building to for 10 years. When you've got what, like 17, 18 movies building
18.
up to a single event movie, that's one really, really impressive feat. That has never been done before. Combining Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, all of these different franchises combined into one, and we're getting a villain that can cold cock Iron Man with a single punch and drop him like a bitch he is. That's pretty friggin' awesome. And I mean, dude, that was just an MMA. Boom, down.
And you tempers to buy Slime Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, yeah. Spider-Man, you just poof. Who's the spider now, huh? Squish you under my thumb. He's not even using.
I'll squash you like a bug. But I'm not a bug. I'm an insect. Oh, you're an insect now.
He's not even using the glove to do that. That's his bare hand that he's doing that. He's like, I don't want to mess this up. I'll just take you with one hand. I mean, dude, Thanos. I mean, Josh Brolin is a beast, so I can completely see him playing Cable, but put some purple skin on him, and he is Thanos. He is gonna wreck shit up, and I cannot wait to see it. I mean, yeah, I mean, I've said it before, but nothing I've seen has tempered my enthusiasm at all. It's just fanning the flames at this point. We're 5 months away. I'm gonna see it for my birthday, so hell yeah! Avengers: Infinity War, my number one anticipated movie.
All right, very good. Before I get to my number one, which really isn't a shock, there are a couple movies that just missed the cut that I do want to quickly give up as honorable mentions. X-Men: Dark Phoenix is one. Apocalypse, I wasn't too impressed about, but I did like the cast members for the younger mutants, the young Jean Grey, young Cyclops, young Storm. I did like them. I thought they were good, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of them. Bohemian Rhapsody, Queen, as you all know, as anyone would recognize, is easily one of the greatest, if not the greatest musical act of all time, and if you don't agree with that, you're fired for breathing. My parents praised Rami Malek from his performance on the USA series Mr. Robot. They think he's an incredible actor. And when I saw the first photo of him surface as Freddie Mercury, I was stunned. Like, holy shit. If I didn't know any better, I'd say that was Freddie Mercury. So I'm intrigued to see this. I'm curious how they do handle a biopic of this legendary frontman and this great band. So we will see. And then last honorable mention I want to bring up. I know I talk a lot about the great kid shows that I grew up watching. A lot of things were important in my childhood, like Pokemon or Hey Arnold. But another animated property that was a big part of my childhood, and I don't really talk about, was Winnie the Pooh. When I was 4 or 5 years old, that was my jam. So I am intrigued to see this Christopher Robin movie coming out later this year, where we see a grown-up Christopher Robin who has no imagination anymore, and we get to see the Winnie the Pooh and all his friends somehow come to life to help him get it back.
Yeah.
That's intriguing. I don't know if I'll see that in theaters, but that's something I might
sounds like something. It sounds like something off of Steven Spielberg's Hook, though. I don't know.
Yeah, you never know.
Paul,
I never liked Hook.
Hey, Paul, you said poo.
I said Winnie the Pooh. Besides, it's P-O-O-H, not P-O-O. Okay, so I get a break. Pooh Bear? Or no, did that just make it worse? All right, but anyway. So I did want to bring those up as honorable mentions. All right, so number one, again, no surprise, it's Infinity War. Is that really a shock? No. Yeah, I mean, look, 10 years, 18 movies, all building up to this. You know, we talk a lot about what Marvel has done over these past 10 years is nothing short of revolutionary. We've had trilogies, we've had sagas, we've had crossovers happen, but an entire group of movies linked together in one giant universe It was legendary. It's profitable as hell. Every studio is trying to catch up to them. Maybe one of them will at some point, but we will be here. We will remember when it started. We will remember when Marvel began this and made it fucking work. And this is the moment we've all been building up for. So I can't really say anything beyond what you guys have said. It's Infinity War. It's all the Avengers. It's Spider-Man. It's Guardians. All going up against the Mad Titan. Shit gonna go down. Shit gonna get real. Shit's gonna get fucked up.
I was 17 back when the Marvel Cinematic Universe started. Feels so far away.
And Mike, I know we were talking about maybe seeing Deadpool 2 together with like Caleb, but Infinity War, we have to do that. Okay, I mean that needs to be a requirement. And like I said, I wish there was a way we could all see it together. Like
see it together.
Caleb, myself, Eric, Mike, Colton, Chris, hell, even Max and Avi. Just somehow get us all together on like some middle point somewhere.
It's gotta be somewhere.
I wish there was a way we could all do that.
There's gotta be somewhere.
Well, we got several months to try and figure it out.
We will work on this, people. If there is a way for all the nerds to unite at last for the first time, to do it.
Nerds assemble!
So yeah, we got to think of something. We will think of something. I don't know how, but we'll somehow make it. If it can happen, we will make it happen. No promises though. But anyway, all right, guys. So that's it. I mean, we still got The Last Jedi to talk about next Monday, but after that, it's all hands toward 2018. What is shaping up to be a special year, another special year for movies. So that's going to wrap up our show. I want to thank everyone for being here. Chris, it was a pleasure having you here.
It's great being here, man. Especially this episode. When we do this top 10 most anticipated. Oh, my goodness. Avengers, oh, God. Dying to see these movies. But it's always great doing the show with you guys.
Absolutely, absolutely. Colton, my friend, it was a pleasure having you here.
I almost didn't do the show today. I'm glad I changed my mind. It was a good one.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And Mike, it was a pleasure having you here, and I will see you Friday for Last Jedi.
Yes, you will. I'd like to just give one last shout out to A Wrinkle in Time. It's kind of flying under the radar, but I really like the trailers, and I think it's going to be a really, really fun movie. So
probably going to
yeah. So that's another one I'd like to just throw a shout out for. But yeah, hey, great being with you. I will see you on Friday at Paul with Caleb and Eric.
Yes, indeed. All four of us will be here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Real quick, because I don't think I'm ever going to get around to doing my own thoughts and opinions on this, a video on this. I need to talk about the Crisis on Earth X crossover that happened a couple weeks ago on the CW. I'm not going to spoil anything, but for those who haven't seen it, but aside from one little nitpick I had, just one itty-bitty nitpick, they fucking nailed it. Like, this is the fucking Justice League movie we as fans deserve.
Exactly.
The action was incredible. The humor was great. The character development was absolutely incredible. All the got a chance to shine. It was unfucking-believable. And, Earth X was legit terrifying. So I mean, yes, it was just one little. And so I mean, I laughed, I had fun, I even cried. I had to hold back tears. There was one more I had to hold back tears. It was very rough.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah,
I know.
Crisis on Earth X, even better than Heroes vs. Aliens, and like not only one of the best crossovers I've ever seen, but when you look at it together, a 3-hour and 40-minute movie done fucking right.
Yeah. More ambitious than the Justice League movie.
It was indeed. And in conclusion, I will say this. I somehow hope there's a way that Greg Berlanti could run the DCEU. He would turn that shit around in an instant. He is a man for it after watching this. But so, yeah. Crisis on Earth X, that is a Justice League movie worth seeing. Go check it out if you can. If it'll be on Netflix at some point, or if you want to see it on the CW app, go watch it. All 4 of those episodes, unbelievable. All right, guys, so that is going to wrap up our show. Thank you all very much. We will see you next week for our last show of the year, the Star Wars, The Last Jedi discussion. Until then, have a great night, everybody. Bye-bye.